The next data entry section allows you to enter any TI money you're going to get from the landlord, as well as any cash the tenant needs to spend on building the space. Here's how it works. The first box allows you to enter a landlord contribution. If the landlord was giving you $25, you'd put $25 in this box. It's important for you to understand that in the tenant rep program, the landlord contribution box has absolutely no effect on the cash flow. The point of the tenant rep program is to show the tenant their cost to get into and occupy the space. If a landlord says, look, you pay me $30 in rent and I'll give you $20 in cash, the $20 in cash is not a cost to the tenant. It's built into the deal. I should mention that in the landlord program, the cash contribution has a significant effect on the cash flow, but in the tenant rep program, the landlord contribution box has no effect on the cash flow. It's really just a label. It will appear in the assumption section of the report so everybody will know that you're getting a contribution from the landlord, but it has no effect on the numbers. If I click on Go to Reports and Cash Flow, you'll see there's no numbers on the cash flow yet because this box has no effect on the cash flow report in this program. If I click on Go to Reports and I go to my assumptions, you'll see it lists the landlord contribution, it automatically calculates the aggregate contribution, and if a usable area exists, it automatically calculated my usable square foot contribution. If I click on Go to Data Entry and Cash Contribution, it takes me back to the data entry form for cash contribution. Suppose your architect told you your total construction cost was going to be $40. The landlord agreed to give you $25. That means you'd have a shortfall of $15. The tenant would need to come up with another $15. Tenant cash can be expensed in one of two ways, either upfront in the initial month, or it can be amortized at a rate and term of your choice. Suppose the tenant agreed to spend $5 out of their pocket up front, so we could put it in this box and expense it in the initial month. If I click on Go to Reports and Cash Flow, this is clearly a cost to the tenant, so when I get to the cash flow, I have my first line item, tenant cash of $5 in the initial year. I click on Go to Reports and I go to my Assumptions section, and you'll see that it shows me in the tenant cash section, initial month, $5. Click on Go to Data Entry, back to the cash contribution, I'm back on the data entry form. So the landlord's given us $25. The tenant agrees to kick in another $5 out of their pocket, totaling $30. We still have a shortfall of $10. The tenant says, go back to the landlord and get another $10 from him. Landlord says, I tell you what, I'll give you another $10, but I'm going to amortize it over the term of the lease at 10%. Here's how it works. So we're going to enter amortized amount, $10. Amortized annual rate, 10%. Amortized term in months, 122 months. I click on Go to Reports, I go to the cash flow. You'll see there's a line, tenant cash. In the first year, it's $6.56, and in each year after that, it's $1.56. That's the $10 amortized over the term. The first year is $6.56 because we got the $5 we spent in the initial month up front. Click on Go to Reports, I go to my assumptions, and you'll see that under a landlord contribution, it shows $25. Tenant cash in the initial month is $5. Tenant cash amortized is $10 for a total of $40. Go to data entry, back to cash contribution, I'm back on the data entry form. ProCalc is this simple. Every time you enter something into the data entry form, it shows up on the reports. You can click on Go to Reports and view the reports at any time you want. The key to you becoming an expert with ProCalc is to know where to go in the data entry form to enter any cost you may have. Extremely important. You don't have to fill in every single data entry box. As you're going through the data entry form, if there's anything that doesn't pertain to your deal, leave it blank. Don't type in zeros, don't type in the word none, just leave it blank, pass right by it. When you print out any of the ProCalc reports, ProCalc automatically removes all the blank rows, rows of zeros, extraneous column headings, so that every report prints out looking 100% customized. You will never see a blank row, a row of zeros, or an extraneous column heading in any of the ProCalc reports.